Okay, so this is our winners and losers segment. We're going to kick off with the losers first. We want to finish on a happier note with the segment. So we'll get the bad stuff out of the way first. I'll kick it off with the losers. My losers is neutral fans this past weekend. Obviously we're looking forward to some of these games that were happening in week 4, and we lost basically 2 games effectively that were on the slate. We obviously lost the Steelers versus Titans, which was one of the better games this weekend. But we didn't. We also lost the Chiefs versus the Patriots being a competitive game with Cam going out. So it's just unfortunate that we lost those 2 games from it. So it kind of was a bit of a flat weekend. But hopefully, we can get with these protocols in place that the NFL putting in. The teams will be able to control it a bit better, and we won't have too many more disruptions to the weekly action. Alex, who's your loser? What's your loser?
My loser this week is Matt Patricia. I think this is the 6th time in a row the Lions have had a lead and have lost a game in a row. Six times in a row.
This is the last double-digit lead as well. Yeah, it's 6 in a row having double-digit leads.
Yeah, double-digit lead. Yeah, and it's just if you can't hold on, like game management. It's just bad coaching, bad situational football, just bad everything with that Lions team. They got a win last week, and this week, pretty much wet the bed.
He's not representing the pencil in the ear crew very much, is he? It's like that community there. They like to do that. He's kind of he's sticking to it though. I was looking at him in the interview the other day, and I was like, the guy's still sticking to it. It's just a weird thing, It's just some people like to do that. And I don't know. I was seeing him. He was saying he was interviewed by the press saying, what's happened. He said, well, guys, there was a lot of work to do when I came in. He took over a team that was 9-7. That there was a lot of things. It wasn't a perfect team, but it was, an okay team that needed to take it to the next level. And where he's taken them is not there. So
it's come out down.
Yeah, exactly. To come out and say that, it's just completely clueless, completely hopeless. And
it's fine by me. They could stay there.
As a Packers fan, you would say that, but no love for the Lions, but the Lions fans have had enough grief, and I think they need to be rid of this guy. This guy is clearly not got the ability to be a successful head coach.
Who would have thought Jim Caldwell would have been a better head coach?
I know he's very uninspiring, but he got a lot out of the players that he had. Henry, what's your loser of the week?
Oh, the loser of this week for me is MetLife Stadium.
Oh, yes.
You just have bad plays after bad plays from the Jets and the Giants, and then you have even worse with injuries. The list just carries on now, isn't it? We started with 49ers, Nick Bosa,
yes.
Thomas, Solomon Thomas, Mostert, Jimmy G, Jordan Reed. Then you got this week. You got Lawrence Cager, and that's another
Lawrence
one.
Cager, the rookie for the Jets. Yeah, he pulled up as well on it, trying to do a cut.
How many more do you want?
It's a really bad hit. They had this field put in. Apparently, the Bengals had it like it had a similar field, similar turf before, which is not exactly a franchise you would necessarily want to follow in most things. But they put it in. I don't know why they had turf. It's an open field stadium. The fact they don't have grass makes no sense. It's like
what's worse is JC Tretter from the Browns have said that on the based on non-contact injuries from 2012 to 2018, there's 32% chance of non-contact injuries. That's higher on the turf
than grass.
Than grass,
yeah.
And a 69% higher non-contact foot and ankle injuries compared to grass. So it's just crazy.
It's really poor, and I know most of it was when Cager went down on Thursday. Mostert kind of popped out and was talking about the field as well. Even the players, the 49ers players before the Jets game, when they first, the 49ers had back-to-back games there, and the 49ers came out on the Jets game, which is the first game they had there, and they were like, they already felt already that it wasn't going to be good even before the game. And they weren't happy with it. And then obviously, an hour or so later, they're facing a season without Bosa and Solomon Thomas, almost back-to-back plays. So, yeah, MetLife, it looks like not going to be able to do anything for the rest of the season. So good luck to anyone who has to face them. Luckily, the teams they face, they can stomp the teams down, but at what cost? I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about it. If it keeps on going this way, they're going to have to do something,
shut that stadium down.
Shut the stadium down. Maybe, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's clearly a lot of people keeping their eye on it. And
I'm genuinely worried when the Pats play the Jets at MetLife. I'm genuinely worried. I don't even care. I will rather the Pats just throw away the game against the Jets and keep
that's the
everyone
Jets' first
healthy.
win of the year.
That's how the Jets and Giants get a win, by people forfeiting. We're not COVID forfeiting. We're just forfeiting because we don't want to lose. We just lose this one game and keep our best players fit. Yeah, just give the Giants and Jets the only wins they can. It's not a good look. But we'll raise it to a better level with our winners now. I'll go first. I think Chris Greer and the Dolphins front office must be just chuckling every Sunday right now, seeing what the Texans are doing. Obviously now the news came out with Bill O'Brien. We'll see where the Texans go, if it lifts them up and they win more, or they continue to be a really poor team. But either way, they're not going to be a great team. And obviously, the reason I bring up Chris Greer and the Dolphins front office is because obviously they've got, from the Laramie Tunsil deal, they've got the first and second round picks for next year's draft. So can you imagine, if the Dolphins don't have a great season, they win only a few games themselves and are still rebuilding, they could have a top 10 pick themselves and a top 10 pick from the Texans. That's a really good way to build around Tua, which they have to, by the way, get him out and move on from Fitzpatrick. Now I think it's time to, what else are you doing right now? You got to see what you've got with Tua. The Dolphins win that trade. It's another trade that is partly the reason why Bill O'Brien is not in the office anymore in Houston, because of that. Was one of the disastrous trades. We talk about the Hopkins trade, but that one was a big trade. I mean, Tunsil's a decent player, but the amount they gave up for him is just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous.
He looked like a really good like a outstanding young tackle in that generation.
Yeah.
To give up that much capital and cap for him, but it doesn't look like it's.
But that's the kind of move you make when you're going for a title, and if you're not going for it, then what are you there for? And that's why he's gone. And,
do you know who it benefits? The next head coach.
I mean,
that's what I would say.
Yeah,
because I think Tunsil will eventually.
I don't know.
Prove his worth.
I mean, there's a lot to work in Houston, but Henry, who's your winners of the week?
Oh, it'll be the Chargers and the Bengals fans. They actually have two quarterback that looks like they're here to stay.
They're at the kind of the honeymoon, the kind of the love at first sight kind of at part of their kind of relationship with the quarterbacks, where it's all working out, it's looking great, everything's fantastic, and you just hope, like I said, you hope that they both look really good, like they both in individual ways they've done really well despite deficiencies elsewhere on the teams. And you think if they can build around those players, you could have two good quality quarterbacks coming in those two players. Absolutely,
it's like a really bright future for both of them, and hopefully, for Chargers' point of view, don't get Taylor back.
Tyrod Taylor, no, you don't.
Tyrod Taylor back.
You don't want him back. No.
You don't want him back.
No,
do not bring him back.
It's unfortunate how he went out. Of course, a terrible situation, but with how good Herbert's looked, you just can't. You just can't turn back now. He's completely unlocked the offense.
These things are unfortunate, but it's how the NFL.
I mean, look how Brady got in. You know, he got an injury caused him to get in. These things happen with the young players on the sideline.
Very similar as well. Was it a cracked rib and then?
I don't know if it was cracked. I think it was a tackle, cracked rib. I don't know if it was punctured by the medical staff.
Yeah.
The Bengals, they picked the guy who they thought it was looking like he was going to be this guy, and to have the validation that he does look like the guy who was worthy of the first overall pick. It's always a nervous thing to have people come behind him and to say, we've got to pick this guy. and we hope he's the guy. And that's it. We get the first crack at who we want to take, and you choose him over someone like Chase Young, who again looks great. You really hope that the quarterback is who you hope you hope he is, and yeah, it's looking really good. And with more talent around both players, they could be really good. Alex, who's your winner of the week?
My winner of the week is Sean McDermott. Now I'm publicly not high on the Bills, but I still have to acknowledge the job he's done, and he being 4-0, we are all actually finally seeing how like the fruits of his labor and how he's coached his team, built his team, and he's coached it very well.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Bills fan, you're over the moon right now. They're beating whoever's in front of them, and that's what you can ask for if you're a Bills fan. So yeah, Sean McDermott, you're having a very good first 4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the season. So
it's a great job. He's worked really hard. He was helped with bring in Brandon Bean, the GM, from the Panthers. And
that trade for Diggs worked.
Yeah,
is working,
and that's working with Bean. So he brought in. So Sean McDermott is the kind of source of all this success. He brought in. He was the coach. The GM went out the door. He brought in Brandon Bean. That's worked amazingly. He's done a great job putting this team around and working with Josh Allen. He's picked the right staff. Brian Daboll has done, the offensive coordinator, has done an amazing job with Josh Allen and himself. He's looking at some head coaching possibilities next year. It's just a great, he's done a great job from his position as a defensive side of coach. He's helped the offense. The defense has generally been good. I know this year has not been as good, but I think they'll get it right. The guy is.
They got Josh Norman back, so
no, absolutely. I think if the Bills continue to do what they do, he's definitely in for Coach of the Year running. But I think for that we'll wrap up winners and losers for this week.